Good morning. It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. We love those guys. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch the show as well. Super Talk TV is up and running. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. YouTube and Rumble are the big ones. Rumble's a bit janky. Go over to YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. We got a lot to get to today. Only a little bit of time. Is Mason running behind? Sam's still producing. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, there's that crazy traffic on 24.
The fog was wild this morning. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Freezing fog, no less.
Which is like it's the scariest kind of fog.
It's apparently, I don't know when, Joan, if that warning's hanging around till tomorrow.
I felt like Maki Mak.
It ended. Yeah, it ended at 9 o'clock, but still, it could happen again. Clearly,
I didn't know freezing fog was a thing.
I feel like growing up in the Northeast, you might have known that.
I should have probably.
So, did your windshield wiper fluid work on it? Because sometimes it doesn't if it's not the right kind.
I didn't use the windshield wiper fluid. I used the ice scraper and I just warmed up the car.
Okay.
So I'm out of luck there. I don't know. It probably would have. Maybe, perhaps. But yeah, it was crazy. Even just turning out of my neighborhood, you could not see the church that's across the street or cars coming at you. So I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. Made it in eventually. I got here in time for the crisscross, so that's a huge win. It feels like today should be a Friday, does it not? I think maybe I'm in the minority here, but I feel like this should be Friday. It shouldn't be Thursday because, does anybody really feel like working? Of course not. Of course not. We're focused more on bread and milk sandwiches. Mason's here. How was your ride in?
Pain in the butt.
Okay. Didn't you move away from Murfreesboro to Lebanon so that way you would have an easier commute?
Yeah, and then they started doing construction in Mount Juliet, and they started doing constructions on the road, and people don't understand how to drive in fog.
Fog is scary. Fog is scary.
Yeah, it's understandably so that you go slow, but it shouldn't have added an extra 25 minutes to my drive.
No. It's probably other people need to step up their game.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We need them to get out of your way.
Yeah, get on my level.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. Everybody has been just freaking out about Greenland so much, calling it nonsense, calling Donald Trump a maniac. He's a madman. He doesn't even need Greenland. Well, we're getting it. Spoiler alert. We got to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about J.D. Vance. He is on his way to Minneapolis today as ICE continues to face relentless attacks from radical ideologue leftists, and the Democrats continue to allow massive Somali fraud. I want to see some accountability. I hope that this is trending in that direction. We'll talk about that as well. Pam Bondi made a statement the other night and last night, and I'm just not impressed with Pam Bondi. I am still underwhelmed by Pam Bondi. She has plenty of time for a Fox News appearance, but I don't want you on Fox News. I want you working, and I want people in silver bracelets. We'll talk about that. Place to start, though, is definitely Greenland. Let's talk about how it started, okay? Donald Trump in Davos wanting Greenland. Everybody is weighing in on the conversation, and they're asking him about it yesterday in Davos. This is how it began to sound during some of the press conferences.
Mr. President, the Danish foreign minister rejected your call to negotiate on Greenland. What will...
I didn't call him.
No, sorry. The president...
This is Howard Lutnick and Scott Bissett laugh. I didn't call him. Oh, sorry. The Danish foreign minister rejected your negotiations for Greenland. Trump then said to them, well, if he's going to reject my negotiations, he should tell me to my face. And just this guy is just badass, stones on the table the entire time he's in Davos.
This is not something that they are willing to discuss. So what will those negotiations
Well, they
look
didn't
like?
tell me that, so when they tell me, because I don't like getting it secondhand. If he wants to tell me, he'll tell me that to my face.
And when will you be discussing this?
I have no idea.
When you said you
I'll be discussing it with this man right here.
Mr. President,
He's frankly more important.
And he points to the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte. And we've talked about Mark Rutte in the past. I think Mark Rutte has a bit of a man crush on Donald Trump. He gets a little giddy every time he's around him. He's a little flush in the face. But Mark Rutte is the guy that's helping us get this done. Mark Rutte has more authority over NATO than the Denmark the Denmark government. But he was making the case yesterday that, the U.S. probably does need Greenland.
There are these tensions at the moment, there's no doubt. Again, I'm not going to comment on that, but I can assure you the only way to deal with that is, in the end, thoughtful diplomacy. So statements from me will not add anything here. And when it comes to the Arctic, I think President Trump is right, other leaders in NATO are right. We need to defend the Arctic. We know that these sea lanes are opening up. We know that China and Russia are increasingly active in the Arctic. There are 8 countries bordering on the Arctic. 7 are a member of NATO. That's Finland and Sweden and Norway and Denmark, Iceland, Canada and the US. And there's only one country bordering on the Arctic outside NATO, and that's Russia. And I would argue there is a 9th country, which is China, which is increasingly active in the Arctic region. So President Trump and other leaders are right. We have to do more there. We have to protect the Arctic against Russian and Chinese influence. And that's exactly what NATO ambassadors decided to do in September. We are working on that, making sure that collectively we defend the Arctic region.
Leftist heads explode. Fake conservatives blown out of the water. Even Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of NATO, goes, you know what? Trump was right. I'm sorry. For those of you not paying attention in the back of the class, can you take out your earbuds for a second and look, make some eye contact? Trump was right again. Trump was right. That's how it started yesterday in Davos at the World Economic Forum. How it ended and how it's going now is a surprise to many. Donald Trump posting on Truth Social yesterday afternoon, based upon a very productive meeting that I have had with Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. The solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1st. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. Vice President Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and various others, as needed, will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So we're getting Greenland. For all intents and purposes, it's going to start slow, but Greenland is going to be United States property. There's some rumors about the deal. We haven't gotten a lot of information on the deal yet. The final details are not out, but the New York Times is saying that the deal could include U.S. getting sovereignty over multiple highly and strategic vital parts of Greenland. Daily Mail was talking about maybe a $1 million payment per resident. I've only heard that from the Daily Mail, and I would take that with a grain of salt. But they're talking about mineral rights, Golden Dome, air defense, and infrastructure investments being mentioned. Now, people will say, it's the same deal. Oh, nothing changed. And it's like, no. You're missing the point entirely. The 1994 treaty that was signed made it so that way anything we did on a military base in Greenland, we had to run through Denmark. So if we had to repipe a facility, if we had to pour a slab of concrete, we had to go and get the thumbs up, the green light from the Danes. Yuck. The New Deal gives us sovereignty over the bases, meaning we can do whatever we want. Once again, Donald Trump is playing 4D chess. He's saying, I'm going to take it. It's going to be mine. I'll use the military if I have to. And in the end, the way the negotiation goes, it's art of the deal in real time. He gets exactly what he wanted. And we're going to be able to do in Greenland exactly what we need to do. I'm here for it. President Trump was talking about this yesterday. He confirmed the deal he's reaching with Europe isn't only Greenland. It's actually the entire Arctic. This is in Davos. This guy was a madman yesterday. He gets on a plane, has to turn around because of, mechanical issues. And then he's back on a different plane, flying over to Greenland, gives a speech, does a sit-down interview, does a press conference, does another press conference, does another interview. Donald Trump is, he's like no other leader I've ever seen in action. But he sat down, stood up, stood for an interview with CNBC. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, I don't want you to call me out as a liar because he's standing during the interview. But he's talking with CNBC, and he does. He's got to be sending these adversarial countries, Russia, China, into a bit of a tizzy as he confirms the deal he's reaching with Europe isn't just Greenland, it's the entire Arctic.
Well, we have a concept of a deal. I think it's going to be a very good deal for the United States, also for them. And we're going to work together on something having to do with the Arctic as a whole, but also Greenland. And it has to do with the security, great security, strong security, and other things.
The market, 600 points, getting back a lot of some of the nervousness we had in the last couple of days. The tariffs are off. Nothing happens on February 1st.
No, we took that off because it looks like we have pretty much a concept of a deal.
A deal of ownership, a deal...
Well, it's a little bit complex, but we'll explain it down the line. But the Secretary General of NATO and I and some other people were talking, and it's the kind of a deal that I wanted to be able to make.
Where does Denmark, did they weigh in on what they want, what they would agree to?
Well, I assume they did because he very much represents, he's a strong leader. Mark, you know Mark, Rutte. And he, I assume he's been speaking to them. He's been speaking to all of them.
Are mineral rights involved? Is ownership involved? Did the Golden Dome sway people?
I don't want to say yet, but...
The Golden Dome was very compelling today when you talked about that.
Yeah, the Golden Dome, and they're going to be involved in the Golden Dome. And they're going to be involved in mineral rights, and so are we.
It's not specific enough to know at this point how long this lasts, whether it's...
Forever.
Forever.
It'll be forever.
For Greenland at this point.
Yeah. Forever.
Forever. What a beast. Donald Trump goes into Davos yesterday. He looks in the eyes of all these globalists, all these elite. He says, you're doing it backwards. You're doing it wrong. We're doing it our way now. Other countries stepping up to the plate, saying the exact same thing. Shout out to Italy. There's a rejection of globalism. And at the same time, everybody calls him an unhinged madman. You don't need Greenland. What are you doing? And he gets exactly what he wants. Details are going to be coming on the deal. It's all just rumored at this point, but a lot of outlets are kind of parroting the same thoughts, which makes you think that they're talking to people within inside the administration. New York Post has this. Greenland would have to give the U.S. control of some of its land as part of a framework deal announced by President Trump and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte in Davos, Switzerland on Wednesday, according to sources and reports. U.S. military bases in Greenland, a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark, would be considered sovereign U.S. territories under the terms of the proposed deal, the Telegraph reported. The deal would allow the U.S. to perform military operations, gather intelligence, train soldiers without obtaining permission from the Danes. This is key. We don't have to ask for approval. This is one of the major changes in how things are operating in Greenland currently. They'll say, we already have bases. We already had bases and nothing's going to change. So the deal you got is the same deal. And it's like, no, you're missing the point. Sovereignty means we don't need permission anymore. We don't need permission to put in radar machines or Golden Dome missiles. We don't need permission to lay a slab of concrete. We don't need any of that. That's key. And this wouldn't have happened without the art of the deal from President Trump. The deal would also allow the U.S. to perform military operations, gather intelligence, train soldiers without obtaining permission from the Danes, potentially allow the U.S. to expand into and develop land in mineral-rich parts of the Arctic island. A European official told the Post that Rutte proposed Denmark transferring to the U.S. sovereignty over Pitifik Space Base in northern Greenland. I probably butchered the name, but I'm just going to roll with it. The strategically important installation has been under U.S. control since 1951, that defense agreement with Denmark, but the land legally belongs to the Danes. Denmark would also give U.S. sovereignty over small pockets of land for the construction of new U.S. military bases, according to the New York Times. The compromise, if finalized, would fall short of the original goal of complete and total control of Greenland, which the president argued was necessary for U.S. defense, U.S. national security. But the expansion of U.S. territory, however, would mark the first time that it's happened since World War II with the Northern Mariana Islands that were taken from Japan. The proposed deal mirrors a 1960 pact between the United Kingdom and Cyprus, which grants the UK sovereignty over 2 military bases on the Mediterranean island. They say there's a lot of work to be done. They'll do it step by step. But of course, working fast, but also through diplomacy, Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of NATO, said during an interview with Bret Baier on Fox News, vowing, we will get this done. A lot of developments. The cope and seethe from the left, from the mainstream media is on. You're going to hear a lot of narrative and a lot of spin today. It's the same deal. It's not. It's not. It's just not. The military bases are ours now. We're getting more of them. We're going to be able to do whatever the hell we want. And the world is going to be safer for it. Shout out to President Trump. We got a lot more to talk about on the way. I got a little bit more on Greenland. A lot of people reacting to the president dropping that bomb yesterday. That, yeah, we got it. We got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. We'll talk about that. And then one of my favorite things from Davos. I don't know if you've picked up on this, but one of my favorite things in Davos when all the global elites are there is there's always this awkward 7-minute walk from the hotel to the little conference center where they do it, right? And the Swiss police let the press have free reign on that walk. So you get a lot of globalist leaders that just get harassed by press, where if they had done it in the country where that leader is from, they probably would have been arrested or assaulted, which has happened in many cases. Couple of leaders got their what for. Justin Trudeau, former governor of Canada, and the director of the World Health Organization were harassed, if you will. Not harassed, but called out by a couple of guys out of Rebel News who just do a fantastic job with this. Shout out to Ozzy. We'll play you some of that on the way as well. A lot to get to, a little bit of time. It's 9:23. This is Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. I know I got to do a commercial here, but I feel like I need to respond to Matt Murphy's Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Do you feel like do the people need that? I'd give him a 6.5 out of 10.
I'd have gotten 5.6.
5.6?
Yeah. He could do better. I know he could do better.
Let us know what your rating is on Matt Murphy's Arnold impression on the text line and the YouTube chat. Hey, it's Chris Hand here for my friends at Better Water LLC. Got to tell you about these guys. They're the best. They've been doing it for 55 years. Their employees have been there just about as long. The average employee stays at Better Water for 17 years. I was on the phone with Brandy yesterday. They're coming out to my home. They're going to be testing the water. They're going to be installing a whole water filtration system because we've been starting to smell sulfur in the water. And that's not good. I'm not a fan of that. If you're tired of weird smells in your water, stains, or just plain bad tasting water at the house or office, these are the guys you need to call. You can think of it like a giant Brita filter for your whole house, or they can scale it down to just fit under your kitchen sink. They can do it for your whole business, and they handle everything. They'll remove that sulfur, the iron, the chlorine, the bacteria, even the E. coli. You name it. If you got it, they got a system for it. Reverse osmosis, specialized filters, UV lights. Better Water has you covered. You can trust these guys. They're already doing the water at your local coffee shops around town. They're based out of Smyrna, so if you're around the area, you probably already tasted their work. And they're treating the water at the local hospitals as well. These guys are the pros. If you're worried about your water, they'll test it for free. Just pick up the phone, give them a call, 615-355-6063, 615-355-6063, or find them online, betterwater.com.
Murphy Show. Come on.
That's what he said. That's the kid. And you know what Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes, that is correct. Thank you very much for that information. We appreciate it, youngster.
Which, if I get into it, I do a pretty good Arnold. Everybody has an Arnold. It's a little shaky right now, but I think I can work myself into it. Everybody's got an Arnold.
Get to the chopper.
The Matt Murphy Show. Weekdays 3 to 7.
And streaming on the Super Talk 99.7 WTN app.
Should kids be on this platform, period?
No, it's not worth it. It's only going to create headaches for you.
Roblox itself
It is a predator haven. There are games on Roblox like XYZ Public Bathroom Simulator. Has about 7 million visits, and the whole premise of the game is showering together with kids.
It's basically open season for sex predators on this app. For this reason and all of the others that we've talked about today, Roblox is violating Louisiana law.
If you join it, you're going to see predators, you're going to see naked avatars, you're going to see people peeing and all this sort of weird stuff. If I was a parent and I saw that, I would be outraged. I would be totally outraged. And parents aren't aware of this.
Because there is so much content and it's so difficult to monitor, and there's, 40% of their users are under the age of 13. Of course, it's a place where predators have learned how to network and gather and groom children.
A winter storm watch begins tomorrow afternoon. What Stefano expects for us around here. Also, a win for the Trump administration from a U.S. automaker. That's coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Are you tired of winning, Joan?
I'm tired of winning.
Well,
totally.
We're getting tired of winning. The trolls on the YouTube chat are like, what do we need Greenland for? And it's like, listen, I understand the way the public school indoctrination system works, and you see the Mercator map, so you don't realize how close Greenland and Russia are to the Arctic. You can't fathom the way a Golden Dome would operate and nuclear missiles would be just hurled over the Arctic to come at the United States. I understand that it's tough for you because you've been seeing the map one way your entire life. But the reality is, if we are going to do a Golden Dome, similar to Israel's, the Iron Dome. If we're going to do the Golden Dome similar to that, Greenland is the most strategic place on the entire planet to do it. And it's going to keep America safe. It's going to keep Canada safe. This is absolutely clutch. Donald Trump was talking about this with Maria Bartiromo. This interview aired earlier this morning on Fox Business. And he said that the deal isn't going to cost the United States anything.
Well, I'm not going to have to pay anything. We're going to have total access to Greenland. We're going to have all military access that we want. We're going to be able to put what we need on Greenland because we want it. We're talking about national security and international security. So we're going to not have to pay anything other than the fact that we are building the Golden Dome, and the Golden Dome is going to be something that's going to be very amazing. It'll be Israel times probably 100. And we need it. I think we need it. And it's all going to be made in the United States. We have the best weapons in the world. We have the best companies in the world. We want them to produce faster, and we've put a mandate out. You're going to have to produce faster, whether it's the Patriots or the Tomahawks or the F-35s or anything else. We make the best equipment, but they have to make it a lot faster.
And it's going to be there on Greenland, protecting the United States. But, listen, the trolls in the YouTube chat, they don't understand. They're having a hard time comprehending this, and I understand. I understand. But this is why you're not the president or the Secretary General of NATO. 931, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories, and we will be under a winter storm watch starting tomorrow afternoon through Sunday afternoon. Stefano's forecast, though, in a nutshell.
We should start with snow along and north of I-40. Then the mixing starts. The warmer air moves in as we go through our Saturday afternoon and evening. Where there's still some uncertainty is to how far north that mixing goes. If you can get north of I-40, it wipes out snow totals across Middle Tennessee.
Now, that issue of ice could really affect our roads and cause some serious power outages. Keep it here as we bring you all the latest. The former Columbia University grad student arrested by ICE agents for taking part in pro-Palestinian protests is set now to be deported to Algeria. It comes after a federal appeals court overturned a lower court ruling that kept Mahmoud Khalil in the U.S. Here's ABC 7 News out of New York.
The Trump administration maintains Khalil lied on documents as he applied for permanent U.S. residency and has argued he supports Hamas. Khalil denies he does and says he does not support violence.
Khalil filed a $20 million claim against the Trump administration, alleging that he was falsely imprisoned and maliciously prosecuted. General Motors just announcing that it has plans to move production of a Buick compact SUV out of China and bring production to an assembly plant in Kansas City, Kansas, beginning in 2028. That move comes as President Trump pressures U.S. companies to onshore their production. That is the latest news. We've got your weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends down at the Glock store. I talk about these guys all the time. I love shooting at the Glock store. The Shoot 270 indoor training rooms are unbelievable. I love shopping at the Glock store. The staff can answer all of my questions. I have a bunch, and they're always friendly and so kind. And we've been doing it for years. But have you heard about the new shipment that they got in, the Gen 6 Glocks? These things are unbelievable. New optic system, RTF6 texturing, and large beaver tail, a trigger guard undercut, an integrated thumb rest, a.k.a. the gas pedal. The list goes on and on and on. These are the most refined, beautiful Glocks ever produced. And they're stock. It's unbelievable. As you might expect, Glock store already got their hands on some. They got their first shipment of Gen 6 G17s, 19s, 45s, and as soon as they got them, they were basically gone because the Glock store is letting you pre-order your brand new Gen 6 Glock. Here's what you do. Go down to the Glock store, pick one up. If you like what you feel, see, shoot, place an order. When it comes in, you tell them that you heard it on the Chris Hand Show, and you'll get an extra magazine with your new Gen 6 Glock for free. Just by saying you heard the deal on the Chris Hand Show. Limited time offer, only from our friends at the Glock store. Make it happen today. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Always open online, glockstore.com. 9:38, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere, iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch the show, Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. You're going to want to watch the show here. I got some stuff on the screen that you're going to be very, very excited about. I'm very excited about it. In fact, it's made me pivot where I was going to go. I was planning on diving into some of the reaction from Trump and Davos. We'll do that later in the show. But this came across my desk, and I do feel like this is breaking news, worthy of a sounder. I wanted to absolutely go scorched earth on Pam Bondi for never doing anything. And that was one of my plans today. But I feel like I should hold off on that for a moment. Hit the breaking news sounder.
This is a breaking news update on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing on X about an hour ago. At my direction, HSI HQ and FBI agents executed an arrest in Minnesota. So far, we have arrested Nekima Levy Armstrong, who allegedly played a key role in organizing the coordinated attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. We will share more updates as they become available. Listen loud and clear. We do not tolerate attacks on places of worship. Thank you. Thank you, Attorney General Bondi. This is probably her best work that she's done since becoming Attorney General. Listen, we're going to criticize her when she does nothing and she's sitting on her hands. And we're also going to give her the praise that she deserves when she's actually getting the job done.
There is an update already.
You got an update already?
Yeah.
I think, are you going to talk about the school board member too?
Yes.
Yeah, I got that coming.
Good.
But if you're looking on the screen on Super Talk TV, I do have a picture of Miss Armstrong in her brand new, custom-fitted silver bracelets. And she's looking, I don't know, how would you describe it? She looks a little glum. She looks a little glum. Just a little bit. She was one of the key organizers. In fact, she had a conversation with Don Lemon right after he smooched her on the cheek like a weirdo. Remember this? This is before they went into the church.
How are you? Good to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
this is Nekima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show
Nekima
on Friday.
Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, Nekima. Congratulations. Enjoy your 6x6, 3 hots and a cot, and the federal charges that are heading your way. She is a civil rights attorney, so hopefully she's got some good attorney friends, because Lord knows she's going to need them. CBS has the breakdown. Attorney General Pam Bondi on Thursday announced that Nekima Levy Armstrong has been arrested in connection with the disruption of services at a church where local officials with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement serves as a pastor. The incident happened on Sunday as a group joined services at the city's church in St. Paul before chanting "Ice Out" and "Justice for Renee Good." One of the church's pastors, David Easterwood, leads the local ICE field office, and one of the leaders of the protest and prominent local activist, Armstrong, said she's also an ordained pastor. Bondi also announced, along with the arrest of Nekima Levy Armstrong, the arrest of Chantel Louisa Allen. Chantel Louisa Allen is the school board member. Do you remember that? We talked about the St. Paul, Minnesota school board member who was embedded in the protesters. And it's like, what a joke this state is that these activists are dictating the curriculum and pushing the ideology in these schools, because clearly they're ideological. Bondi announced Chantel was also arrested. They say that Chantel Louisa Allen, was instrumental in building of Black Lives Matter's Twin Cities chapter. Armstrong formerly served as the president for the Twin Cities chapter of the NAACP, and in 2017 ran for mayor of Minneapolis, ultimately losing to Mayor Jacob Frey. The Minnesota-Wisconsin Baptist Convention called what happened an unacceptable trauma, saying the service was forced to end prematurely as protesters shouted insults and accusations at youth, children, and families. The demonstration is one of a number of protests that have cropped up in the Twin Cities This is where CBS goes all full ideologue. And they go, well, this is only because of Renee Nicole Good. She was an unarmed mom, just dropping her kids off, wrong place at the wrong time. And it's like, okay, here we go. A little bit of information at the beginning, and then they go full ideological narrative spin at the end. And then they talk about the recent surge in ICE officers. I'm not going to deal with that. But I like to see the arrests. I truly was going to be a bit frustrated with Pam Bondi today. She had said something. What did she say yesterday? She said, arrests are coming. And it's like, okay, and the files are on your desk and all of this. But she was talking about the people that are doxing ICE. This was yesterday on Fox News. And it just made me, it infuriated me a little bit because I'm like, yo, you tell us that you're working, you do all this, but it seems like nobody's getting charged, nobody's getting arrested, but you have time for Fox News appearances. But I'll step way back from that line and say, thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for making these arrests. I hope to see more as the day goes along. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. I bet you William Kelly, the man with the beard, is going to be arrested relatively soon as well. But this was Pam Bondi yesterday on Fox discussing people who are doxing ICE agents.
That's out right now involving people putting ICE agents' license plates and other information out there in the public. It's here in Minnesota, it's in other cities. Can those people expect to face federal charges?
They better look out, because you cannot dox, law enforcement's information is private, and you wonder, why are our ICE officers wearing masks? To protect themselves from these people. We are going to do everything legally we can do to keep our men and women in law enforcement safe and the citizens of this state safe, so they can go to church, they can go to school, they can go to work, and they can feel safe. Minnesota has been a war zone with criminals, no longer under the Donald Trump administration.
I like the tough approach, but I want to see some action. We are seeing some action today when it comes to the organizers of the church protest. I'm using air quotes, protests, with Nikema Levy-Armstrong, Chantel Louisa Allen being arrested. More arrests to come, I would imagine. But when she talks about the doxing of ICE agents, this is where I kind of took offense, because I am of the opinion, and I've seen it via video, the internet lives forever, where members of Congress, guys like Jacob Maxwell Frost, they're doxing ICE agents on social media every day. They're going through it. I want to see elected officials arrested as well. If Mayor Frey is impeding, obstructing, I want to see him arrested. Governor Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, some of these unhinged Democrats who feel the need to call the ICE officials Gestapo and Nazi and reveal their locations. Yeah, I want mass arrests. We need to put our foot on the gas. And it has seemed to me that Attorney General Bondi likes a Fox News appearance more than she likes bringing criminal charges against anybody. Hopefully that is changing. Yesterday we saw President Trump at Davos saying that, people were going to be prosecuted for the 2020 stolen election. And I was like, okay, take that with a grain of salt, because I know who the Attorney General is. But maybe this is going to be the point, an inflection point where we start to see the tide turn and we do see some arrests. Maybe it's a one-off. Only time is going to tell. But until we get a little bit further down the road, we do have to give Attorney General Bondi the credit where credit is due. Lakeisha, what's her name? Nikema has been arrested. What is it? Nikema. Jeez. Nikema Levy-Armstrong has been arrested, as well as Chantel Louisa Allen. Hopefully William Kelly is arrested soon. J.D. Vance is going to be going to Minnesota today, don't you know? He was in Ohio earlier this morning, and he let him know, as soon as I leave here, we're hopping on that plane, AF2, and we're heading to Minneapolis.
Now, I'm headed from here to Minneapolis, where we're going to talk with some of our ICE agents, talk with local officials about how we can turn down the chaos. And my simple piece of advice to them is going to be, look, if you want to turn down the chaos in Minneapolis, stop fighting immigration enforcement and accept that we have to have a border in this country. It's not that hard.
He's absolutely right. I mean, let's be honest. We need the immigration customs enforcement to work harder. We need to double, triple, quadruple the numbers that we're seeing deported if we want to make a dent. The reason that we're seeing the backlash, the outcry from leftists, either in elected office or on the streets because they're unhinged lunatics, is because of these politicians. It's because of the propaganda that's being pushed on mainstream media. This was never the case when Obama was in office. The deporter in chief, there were no riots, there were no protests, there was nobody trying to dox ICE agents. In fact, CNN, back when Obama was in office, was going for ride-alongs with ICE agents, showing everybody how good they're doing because they're the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. These officials need to work with ICE, not against ICE. J.D. Vance is absolutely correct.
If you look all across our country, what's happened in Minneapolis is happening almost nowhere else in the United States of America. And that's because whether it's in Texas or Tennessee, it's in red states, it's in blue cities, even within our country, most people are cooperating with the simple principle that we ought to be able to enforce our immigration laws and get illegal criminals the hell out of the United States of America. It's really not that complicated.
He's absolutely right. And we mentioned Memphis just a couple days ago. I think it was Attorney General Keith Ellison was like, oh, it's ICE that's making us less safe. And it's like, no. It's your rhetoric, and it's the fact that there's no guardrails on what the unhinged leftists are allowed to do in the streets of Minnesota. When you look at what's happening in Memphis, the enforcement operation has been unbelievably successful and safe. That's key. And it's because they're working together with federal officials. You can say the exact same thing about Louisiana. You can say the exact same thing about Florida, about Texas. What do these states have in common? Yeah, you know, and I know. J.D. Vance continues.
But in a few distinct cities, you see this craziness because the far left has decided that the United States of America shouldn't have a border anymore, and they are willing to fight and penalize and dox and even assault our law enforcement officers in order to fight for the basic principle that anybody ought to be able to come into the United States of America. Well, I'll tell you right now, the Trump administration, we reject that. We are going to get illegal criminals out of our country, and we're not going to let a few left-wing radicals stop us.
We shouldn't let these left-wing radicals stop us. We understand who they're defending. They're defending criminals, gang members, murderers, rapists, child rapists, and it's as clear as day. I mean, how many videos do we need to see of ICE agents where they're being chased around by unhinged liberal women with whistles, alerting these convicted child sex offenders that ICE is outside? And the ICE agent's like, do you know who you're protecting? Do you have any idea what you're doing currently? And they think that they're freedom fighters, and it is an absolute joke. I mean, I saw a story just yesterday where in Minneapolis, it's not just stopping at the ICE agents; they're even going after the dogs. They're going after the dogs. This is if you're looking on Super Talk TV, is a picture of a cute German Shepherd. Not a German Shepherd I would want looking for me. Her name is Dina. She's a canine with ICE, and in Minneapolis, anti-ICE agitators are now targeting the canines. The kennel where Dina was staying, they have a checklist on her door, and somebody wrote ICE out on the checklist. Interesting. So you're gonna target the dogs now too? I wouldn't put it past an unhinged leftist to poison an ICE dog, would you? No, of course not. This is the people. These are the people that we're up against, and the people that they're defending is vile. I saw a story out of Georgia, and as a dad, it infuriates me. And as a husband, it infuriates me. As a conservative, I'm very upset with this story. As a Christian, I find this story unbelievable. In Georgia, an illegal alien has been arrested.
Deputies are
for raping an 11-year-old at knife point in front of her mom and her 10-year-old sister. The anti-ICE agitators want to alert a monster like this when ICE is in the neighborhood.
Deputies arrested 26-year-old Kenneth Moreno Guzman yesterday. He's facing 20 criminal charges, including child molestation, rape, and home invasion.
These charges run, several of them hold a 25 to life sentence.
and that's our objective here, is to send him to prison.
The Bullock County Sheriff's Office got the call on Monday morning. They say Guzman entered a family's home through the back door. Then, investigators say he raped the 11-year-old girl. The Sheriff's Office also says Guzman held both the victim and her 10-year-old sister at knife point. Guzman lives in the same trailer park as the victim and her family. However, they did not know the suspect. He told the investigators the attack was premeditated.
He had previously seen this 11-year-old girl before. He claimed he was attracted to her, and so during the middle of the night he broke into the home, found her in the bedroom with her sister, and forcibly raped her.
After the assault, investigators say Guzman ran. The sisters woke up their parents, who called 911. Investigators arrested Guzman during a traffic stop after getting a description of his vehicle.
Death penalty. Seriously, like that's how you need to deal with monsters like this. And these are the monsters that these radical leftists are defending. I don't know if we have common ground with these leftists anymore. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's harder and harder to find that common ground. This is vile. This is evil. This is disgusting. And this is what the left defends. It's 9:54. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Is your HVAC system working as efficiently as it needs to? It's going to be put to the test this weekend. We all know that. Maybe you're going to find out the hard way that you need that new HVAC system. I hope it doesn't happen to you, but if it does, you got to call my guys over at Busy Bee. Right now on HVAC, you can get 0% financing for 18 months, a complimentary UV light with any new system install, and a free 5-year labor upgrade. That's a $750 value. Maybe you're good on the heat, but you got some plumbing needs. Same 0% financing, and plus a free 50-gallon water heater with select repipes, or $600 off if that doesn't apply. The specials are stacked on top of each other. Service specials right now include a $49 multi-point furnace inspection and $250 off a smart whole home automatic water shutoff. This is perfect protection during the freezes. And also, you buy one Beehive Club membership all month long, you get one free for a friend, family member, or neighbor. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. BusyBeeHVAC.com.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories, and we will have a winter storm watch that begins tomorrow afternoon. That's for sure. What's not so clear, though, right now is what kind of weather we'll get.
There's still some uncertainty as to the different kinds of precipitation that we'll see, but it's looking like ice could be one of the more threatening impacts now across a lot of the mid-state.
Whatever precipitation we do see, it'll begin on Friday night, according to Stefano.
Winter storm watches are still in effect starting Friday evening all the way through Sunday afternoon. That's for all of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Eventually, this winter storm watch is going to be broken up into winter storm warnings and potentially even ice warnings through parts of the area.
It's those icy conditions that we'll be keeping an eye on because of the potential impacts of downed poles, electric wires, and trees. Keep it here. We'll keep you informed. The Tennessee Emergency Management Agency is holding a press conference, a debriefing at the State Emergency Operations Center. They'll detail their plans for this storm. Now, you can catch that press briefing. It happens at 3 this afternoon on TEMA's YouTube channel. It's pretty clear that the storm is going to make traveling on the roads difficult because of the wintry mix. Now, some tips on traveling, if you must, from WSMV4's Braden Ross.
On the roads, take it slow and leave yourself plenty of space to stop if you need to. And if you feel yourself starting to slide, stay calm.
Continue to look and steer in the direction that you want your vehicle to go. What we want to avoid is harsh braking on those patches of ice.
If you end up stuck behind a plow, stay there. Trying to pass plows or emergency vehicles, not a good idea. And if you see other drivers or first responders on the shoulders, move over and give them space. If you find yourself stuck on the side of the road, the first thing you should do is make sure that other drivers can see you.
TDOT is also asking anyone who can stay home this weekend to do so. The Department of Homeland Security opening a new law enforcement operation, this time in Maine. That's where Somali communities have been growing.
ICE launching new operations in Maine. Federal agents going door to door in Lewiston, saying they're searching for 1,400 targets accused of multiple crimes. City leaders in Portland pushing back today.
While we respect the law, we challenge the need for a paramilitary approach to the enforcement of federal statutes.
Here in Minneapolis, we are expecting more protests when Vice President J.D. Vance comes to town for a visit. He's expected to address the situation.
That's ABC's Matt Rivers. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I'll tell you what, guys. I know everybody's talking about the weather. I've been doing Apple weather.
Apple Maps,
Apple weather. I do all the Apple.
So good.
And I've been really excited because they've been predicting 25 to 30 inches of snow. And now I feel let down. I feel like I've been bamboozled by Big Grocery. They just want us to panic buy because now we're saying, what, an inch on Saturday, an inch on Sunday. A lot of ice. That's going to be the treacherous part. It's not the snow. It's the ice, and then the ice isn't going to go anywhere because it's going to be too cold. I mean, there's going to be so much ice around here, we should start calling it Minneapolis.
Oh, no. Yeah.
What?
I mean, you're not wrong, but
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Never mind.
It's also cheesy and lame.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it though. I think the sledding will be fun, one way or the other. I'm going to be at the MTSU Hill, right there by Greek Row on Rutherford. We're probably going to do that on Saturday and Sunday, depending. It depends. I'm a little nervous though because like if there's a lot of water, I don't want to be swimming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's also a partial chance of more rain on Monday as well.
Yuck.
Which means all the snow that will be there will get hit with another layer of water and then down to that 1 degree.
Everything's going to be ruined.
Yeah. It's a little chilly.
I hope the snow is at least good fort-making snow.
Yeah. You've been talking about that a lot this week. I'm here for it.
And if you can get the fort made Saturday before the ice and rain comes in, that thing is going to be structurally sound. It's gonna
Dude, new Airbnb built.
We're gonna be Eskimos lighting a fire in there. It's gonna be like Greenland.
Be cool.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Although Trump might try and come and take that too.
I'd give it to him. I'd be like, take it, sir.
Hey man,
you can. I am all for President Trump putting missiles in the green space in my neighborhood.
Dude, I'm so here for it. That'd be so awesome.
Who wouldn't want that? Well, leftists. Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad that Donald Trump is getting Greenland. Except the experts are like, this is unbelievable. But the Democrats are very upset. Rep. Jason Crow saying what we're seeing from Trump on the world stage at Davos, it is dangerous to this country and to our democracy. I don't know if you saw the speech yesterday. We played a lot of it on the show, but I didn't realize how chilling that was for the Democrats. But Jason Crow, he set me straight, and this guy's very familiar with President Trump. So he says, guys, look at him. He's a day late and $1 short, and we got to do the 25th Amendment, and it's got to be on the table. It's got to be on the table. So does impeachments.
Congressman, your reaction to what not just Americans witnessed, but the world witnessed from America's president today?
I just love, that's Nicole Wallace on MS Now, MSNBC with the same lousy anchors. Nicole Wallace, your thoughts on what we just witnessed? It was dark. It shook me to my core. Americans around the world they're looking for someone to explain it. Representative Crow, please explain it to us.
Well, listen, Nicole, I mean, this president is unstable. He is corrupt. He's interested only in his own power. He always has been. You know, I prosecuted the first impeachment trial of Donald Trump. Impeachment is something I know a lot about. I was one of the House impeachment managers that sat there on the Senate floor for weeks making the case about how corrupt and unstable and unfit for office Donald Trump was then.
He wasn't very good at the impeachments, by the way. Right? Those failed, right? Much like everything else the Democrats touch, those impeachments failed.
Managers that sat there on the Senate floor for weeks making the case about how corrupt and unstable and unfit for office Donald Trump was then. And it certainly has only gotten worse. You know, we talked about January 6th. We talk about him threatening our allies. We talk about him abusing our military. We talk about him threatening to send our military into our cities and to go to war with our own people.
Oh my gosh.
This president is a danger to this country and this democracy. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at all options. All of our options must be on the table, from impeachment, the 25th Amendment, to winning elections, which is actually my primary goal right now.
No, take solace in knowing that there are guys out there like Rep. Jason Crow who he's ready. He's ready to defend this democracy with everything he has. God bless him. Why are they doing this? I mean, why the song and dance? They're all doing it too, by the way. AOC was doing it as well. And they do this stuff with a straight face where they're like, oh, Trump he's slow. He's not mentally there. It's like the guy rode on an airplane all night, gets up, does a speech, sits down, does a press conference, answers questions from the press, does an interview, answers more questions from the press, does another interview, secures a deal for Greenland. It's like, whoa, guys. Clearly, there's something unwell about the president of the United States of America. We gotta have that tough conversation about the 25th Amendment. You know, Joe Biden shaking hands with dead people. Joe Biden being lost at the G20 summit, missing the group photo with all the world leaders. Yeah, no, don't worry about that. Having to change his pants when he met the Pope because the rumors were that he pooped him. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. Joe Biden ran circles around his staff. Donald Trump, he's losing a step.
Real quick, how big of a factor is Donald Trump's cognitive decline, given what we're seeing at Davos?
I think that the president has been acting in increasingly erratic ways. I think it is really damning when we think about the degree to which mass media outlets reported on Joe Biden, and you know, that resulted in the Democratic Party changing its nominee, etc.
Wait, whoa, hold on. The media covered Biden's decline? The media covered CNN, MSNBC, CBS, NBC, ABC. They covered Biden's decline?
You sure about that?
Did I miss something?
You sure about that?
They covered it so extensively that the Democrats had to change their nominee?
You sure about that?
Or was it the fact that he just floundered at the debate and couldn't get a coherent thought out of his mouth? Is this how they're spinning this? Does anybody believe this? I'm sure leftists are eating this up. But like your independents and your moderates, do they see this? I don't know how much play this is going to get. But I saw it and I was just like, what are you talking about? She keeps talking too.
Yet, we are seeing behavior from Donald Trump that is increasingly erratic and alarming, and everyone's pretending that this is normal.
Is it erratic and alarming when we secure sovereignty for our military bases in Greenland? Is it erratic and alarming when you get $18 trillion of investments into this country? Is it erratic and alarming when we're reshoring manufacturing? Is it erratic and alarming when they're revising our GDP numbers up today? Is that alarming to you? I mean, well, that's probably alarming to the Democrats because they have been yelling about affordability, telling us that the economy is in the tank for months. So maybe that is alarming. But erratic and alarming? What is she on?
I don't really understand why that is. It is very bizarre. But then, importantly, I
mean, that's probably the most truthful thing that she said. I don't understand. It's probably if you're gonna cut down and find the truth in one clip from AOC, you would just edit everything else out and just leave. I don't understand, and then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
I think that for our European partners and for our global partners, I think what they also see is the result of not just one man, right, but also the entire government apparatus and a party that is willing to watch someone decompensate in front of the world and do nothing about it.
Decompensate? Did she mean decompose? Decompensate.
I don't know what's going on, but
Oh, there's another truth. Okay, so she said two truthful things. She said, "I don't understand, and I don't know what's going on." We found a clip, a rare clip of AOC telling the truth, and we're not gonna hide it from you.
know what's going on, but I find that the standard, it would be helpful if we could apply an even standard here.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
A fraction of the reporting that was dedicated, a year or two ago to see that applied right now.
We need an even standard? What? Excuse me? You can find a tweet from CNN where they were talking about the economy. They're like, oh, inflation comes in at 6.7. Here's why experts say it's trending in the right direction under Biden. That tweet was released. Then there'll be a new tweet. It'll be like, inflation comes in lower than expected, 2.7%. Here's why experts are still troubled about what the future holds. It's like, okay, you want to talk about even standards. What on earth is this woman talking about? Donald Trump has changed this country, turned the ship around in a year. The economy is about to boom. We haven't even seen the fruit from the investments. And currently, we're seeing experts admitting on national TV that they were wrong about Donald Trump's economy. This just happened this morning on Fox Business. They revised the last quarter GDP up, and the experts are stunned.
The economy at a rate 3% or faster, we're probably going to see an end to this dearth of jobs creation. We're going to do a lot better in terms of jobs creation, and that might well lead to quarters where we have the economy growing by at least 4%. I want to add that we economists were horribly wrong on the strength of the economy, especially in the second half of 2025. Many were looking for growth no faster than 1.5%. You point out 4.3% growth in the third quarter. We want to also consider the fact that real consumer spending at 3.5% was far better than what you would expect given this very sluggish pace of jobs creation. Very low jobless claims. That tells us companies may not be hiring, but they are not firing. They're not resorting to layoffs.
The economists were wrong. The reporting was wrong. AOC wants a fair standard of reporting. So do I. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the show. My man Bobby's online too. What's up, Bobby? How are you?
Nothing much, brother. I hope everybody's doing well, and you get your beans and taters, man, for this weekend. But anyway.
Beans and Deans, Bobby. Beans and Deans. We're ready.
Hey, brother, white beans, black-eyed peas, I've eaten them all my life. But, man, here's the deal. Is that what they want for a president, AOC? And these people need to realize Trump knew what he was going to do to begin with. He just played these people out because he knew what was best for the American people. And do you think they're going to report on that on the nightly news? And I was looking, too, as far as debt goes. Our country is more in debt than any other country. And I've come to realize, which I've realized it for some time, it's the Democrats. They hate this country. They don't want anything done right, and they go against what is right for this country, brother. I mean, what do you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the debt is a huge thing that we do need to tackle. I trust Trump. He's cutting the deficit, which is huge. He's done that more than was predicted. The debt is still going to be an issue. And one of the main issues that we have is we give money to everybody. Like, what is it, like 190 countries in the world, and we're giving money to 180 of them. I wish that we would cut back some of that. That being said, it's going to be okay if the economy keeps growing. It's when the economy slows down that's an issue. Again, we revised our GDP numbers upwards today. Under the Biden administration, they would give us a set of numbers, then it'd be like a couple weeks, and then we would get a revised downward. So they're now revising Trump's numbers up.
GDP just crossed the tape. We got the final read of 4.4% for the third quarter. That is better than the expectation, which was 4.3%. And again, the GDP is a final read of 4.4% for the third quarter. Jobless claims just coming out. They're also better than expected. They came out at 200,000 versus an estimate of 210,000. Continuing claims coming in at 1.849 million versus an estimate of 1.900 million. So these are better than expected numbers on the economic data.
And the leftists will still root for the economy to fail. They will cut their nose off to spite their face. All they want to do is be able to scream orange man bad. But we can see in the data that Trump's economy is working. 1021, this is Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friend Aaron Parker over at Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville. Love these guys. They kick it old school. They carry products they believe in. They actually answer the phone. They show up when they say they will, and they build long-term relationships with their customers. I know it feels like that's a low bar, but when you look at the companies out there today that just aren't doing that, it really does set these guys apart. Parker Safes and Vaults in Shelbyville offer fire-rated, theft-resistant gun safes, including UL-rated TL and TR safes, built to resist tool and torch attacks. It's perfect for firearms, and especially important if you're storing precious metals, jewelry, important documents. It's also great for the photo albums, the keepsakes, the passports. Aaron Parker knows security. He's a veteran with Air Force security experience. He and his sons handle everything, delivery and installation themselves. They serve all of Nashville and surrounding areas without any hesitation. If you need a safe, you need to go to Parker's. And you can find the safe you like on their YouTube channel. Aaron Parker does a YouTube channel. Just search for Parker Safes on YouTube. And they review every safe that they have in stock, so you'll know which one is perfect for you before you even hit the showroom. Give them a call today, 931-842-6445. That's 931-842-6445. Or find them online, parkersafes.com.
Snow and freezing precipitation. It's all on the table this weekend. We'll catch up with Stefano on the forecast. Also, a little more information on the agreement being hammered out on Greenland. That and more at 10:30 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. It's 10:25 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. Mason Fleming doing an excellent job producing, per usual.
Ah, shucks.
But yesterday was a little sloppy.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, you're giving me praise after that?
But most days, you're pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Mason Fleming. He's also answering the phones, taking your calls at 615-737-9986. Mason also handles all the production on the video side of things. We're up, running, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. Shout out to the YouTube chat. Hail to the chat. We'll be joining the YouTube chat exclusively after the newscast with Joan Jones. In the meantime, J.D. Vance speaking in Ohio this morning, and he's got some things to say about Democrats and fraud.
In Washington, D.C., those Democrats do not exist. They disappeared from Washington, D.C. They care more in Washington about using this country as one big fraud scheme than they do about fighting for your prosperity. And that's why we cannot reward these people come November. What are they actually fighting for? Well, we know what they're fighting against. They hate Donald Trump obsessively. It's crazy, but even aside from it's crazy, why the hell are you talking about that instead of figuring out how to fight for the American people? They want the Somali fraud ring in Minneapolis and frankly in other states too to continue. While a lot of Americans can't afford the cost of childcare, they want to take the very programs that we use to make childcare more affordable and give them to fraudsters who are illegally in our country to begin with. These are not politicians who care about you. They care about keeping the fraud going.
Yep, and they care about power. And they'll put those illegal aliens in front of every American citizen. They'll look the other way when it comes to the fraud because they want to keep the wheels moving. It's insane. J.D. Vance calling them out in Ohio this morning. He also said he's heading to Minnesota. We're looking forward to that. J.D. Vance is going to be on the ground in Minneapolis today. And he had a message to local officials. If they want to stop the chaos on the ground, well, then you just got to stop being insane. I mean, that's the Cliff Notes version. If you want to stop chaos on the ground, don't act like lunatics.
Now, I'm headed from here to Minneapolis, where we're going to talk with some of our ICE agents, talk with local officials about how we can turn down the chaos. And my simple piece of advice to them is going to be, look, if you want to turn down the chaos in Minneapolis, stop fighting immigration enforcement and accept that we have to have a border in this country. It's not that hard. If you look all across our country, what's happened in Minneapolis is happening almost nowhere else in the United States of America. And that's because whether it's in Texas or Tennessee, it's in red states, it's in blue cities, even within our country, most people are cooperating with the simple principle that we ought to be able to enforce our immigration laws and get illegal criminals the hell out of the United States of America. It's really not that complicated.
It's not, and Memphis has proved that. We have seen that over and over again, and JD goes on to say, if you're going to blame anybody about the chaos on the ground in Minnesota, inside Minneapolis or St. Paul, then the fingers need to be pointed at the officials in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and in St. Paul.
United States of America, and you don't see the same level of chaos in Minneapolis, the natural conclusion is that it's not what ICE is doing in Minneapolis, it's what Minneapolis authorities are doing to prevent ICE from doing their jobs. And that's exactly what's happening. So, let me give you just a couple of very real-world examples of some of the problems that we face. So let's say you have a sex offender. We've arrested a number of sex offender illegal aliens in Minneapolis just in the last couple of months. But that person, because they're an illegal alien, we don't know where they live. We don't know their address. If local authorities were cooperating with us, it would be easier to send an ICE agents to the person's house to arrest them, to have local law enforcement protecting our immigration officers. They throw the sex offender in the back of a car, deport that person, throw them in jail, whatever, and then they go home safely to their families. That's not what's happening. What's happening instead is that the Minneapolis authorities are refusing to tell us where that sex offender lives. Why are they protecting sex offenders? That's anybody's guess, but it's crazy. Meanwhile, the local police are being told by the mayor, don't help them. So if there are protests, and there are people trying to not just protest, but interfere with what ICE is doing, we don't have the support of local law enforcement to keep the peace. So when I talk about lowering the temperature, those are the two things that we want those local authorities to do.
He's absolutely right, and it begins with the officials in Minnesota. 10:30 on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with our top stories, and our commute this morning was interrupted by a blast of freezing fog, even some patches of black ice. Now, that's even before the winter storm gets started. The winter storm watch begins tomorrow afternoon, runs through Sunday. WSMV4 Stefano DiPietro telling us this one will bring some ice and some snow.
We have widespread snow to start off the day. It might be a little mixing far to the south, but moderate to heavier snowfall early in the day. Then that surge of warmer air comes in and starts that changeover. Mostly happens south of Interstate 40 to start off the afternoon. The farther north we live, the more we'll hang on to that snow.
Now, the threat for icing conditions is the highest in the southernmost regions of the listening area. We'll stay on top of it and bring you all the latest. President Trump has confirmed to Fox Business that the U.S. will have total access to Greenland, and it won't cost us a thing. Here he is speaking with Maria Bartiromo on Fox News.
We're getting everything we want at no cost.
So the Golden Dome will be on Greenland?
A piece of it, yes, and it's a very important part because it's everything comes over Greenland. If the bad guys start shooting, it comes over Greenland. So we knock it down. It's pretty infallible. It's amazing.
President Trump also saying that deal for U.S. access to Greenland will have no end. The woman who allegedly organized the storming of a church in St. Paul, Minnesota last weekend has been arrested. Nakima Levy Armstrong was incensed that the pastor of the church, David Easterwood, is a local ICE official, too.
This pastor should have known better than to try to operate a dual role. I mean, for all we know, was he recruiting people from the church to become ICE agents? We don't know.
Now, the arrest was announced by U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who also said St. Paul School Board member Chantil Allen was also arrested. Bondi said further updates are expected throughout the day. That is the latest news. Weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley over at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. These guys are the best, and they're going to get you back to a pain-free life. You're probably thinking, I'd love to go sledding with the kids or the grandkids, but I can't. My back hurts. Well, you can get back to a pain-free life. Be sledding with the kids and the grandkids so quick. No matter what you're dealing with, back pain, neck pain, sciatica, herniated or bulging disc, knee pain, numbness in your arms or legs, the Wellness Institute of Nashville can help you out. Dr. Mitchell and his team are the first and only office in Tennessee with a brand new machine called the HydroWave. This is going to stimulate stem cells for real cellular healing. No surgery, no needles, no opioids. You pair that with a non-surgical spinal and knee decompression, and this is as advanced as it gets. Right now, you can get 47% off that spinal decompression. It's an unbelievable deal, only from the Wellness Institute of Nashville. They're using anti-gravity machines, robotic lasers. They're going to take the time to review your MRI, break it down, explain it to you in a way that you can understand it, and give you a plan on how to fix it. Start your journey to a pain-free life today. It begins with a phone call to the Wellness Institute. 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or find them online, painisbad.com. 1037, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can find the show on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, or the FM dial. You got batteries for your radio in case power goes out this weekend? I don't. But I got, the batteries are like, they're worth their weight in gold in my house with these kids.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, we're circling through the AA's, the AAA's, the 9 volts. But we have a lot of kids, so I'll make them crank it. We got the hand cranker.
Hand crank flashlights and...
Yeah, make yourself useful.
They're efficient.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with the power. I'm like, crank this radio, baby. crank
You want to listen to music? Here you go.
We're monitoring the weather. It doesn't look as fun as it did a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's looking a little more icy than powdery snow.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Not the best.
I wanted that 25 to 30 inches that was predicted a couple days ago by the Steve Jobs gang. You know,
good
SJG.
old Tim Cook.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Tim Cook now. Is he leaving? Is he? Nobody likes him.
No, not really.
Nobody likes him.
Same phone, different colors, basically every year.
When are they going to do an Apple car? Weren't they going to do an Apple car?
It was alleged, like, I feel like I saw ads for it in like 2010 for like concept stuff.
Have they made anything new? Like since Steve Jobs died, have they actually innovated anything?
Innovated? No. New Apple products? Yes. Because the new iPads,
but
the
like,
new
I'm not
watch.
talking. Yeah, but I'm not talking about like upgrades on existing products.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't made anything new since Steve Jobs died.
I mean, they made that new sock sleeve, whatever, that you can carry your phone in.
Yeah, and then I guess they did the goggles.
Yeah, which didn't work very well either.
No, who wants to wear those everywhere?
No.
I remember watching a guy wearing those on the train. And they were like trying to make it in New York. They were trying to make it seem like that's going to be like the future. I'm like, dude, you're going to get mugged.
You're going to get mugged or like absolutely roasted.
Yeah, why would you look like a goon wearing those things.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
No.
Not worth it.
No. So anyway, I say all that to say I'm mad at Apple now.
Yeah, understandable.
They told me 25 to 30 inches.
I mean, to be fair, people warned you.
Enough of that. This is between
hey, don't.
This is between me and Apple. Let's not bring other people into this.
No need to bring up the past here.
And they got my kids all excited because I got all excited. And now I feel like somebody owes them an apology.
You get an ice maker and shave it down.
I'm actually demanding an apology from Tim Cook.
next Apple release.
So am I the only one that misses Locks for Trump with Matt Murphy?
Yeah.
So he's like, it's day 40, day 400 with Locks for Trump. So maybe I'm going to be like, it's day 300 still waiting for an apology from Tim Cook of Apple.
What are you doing in exchange? Are you growing out your facial hair? Are you growing out your...
I'll go on a hunger strike.
A hunger strike?
I'll go on a hunger strike.
But In-N-Out exists.
Only In-N-Out. Dude, I went yesterday. I went to In-N-Out yesterday in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
It was the best. I walked in. There's no line. Went right up to the counter. Waited 5 minutes for my food.
Bro. It hits the spot, too.
It was heaven.
Doesn't hit the wallet that hard.
It was heaven. Then I made sure to go to my workout later on that night at D1. Because I had some stuff I needed to work out. But it was worth it.
Yeah. I hit the gym last night, and I am sore this morning.
Are you?
So extremely. I put 2 workouts together because I missed one earlier this week, and I was like, I could deal with that. And now my arms, my chest, and my back are not wanting to move, and I can't do a lower body tomorrow because of my knee injury. So
you gonna skip leg day?
It'll be a light cardio day, so I'm still getting some movement through my legs, and then I'll hit the rest with upper body again.
Okay. You know it's gonna be a good workout. Shoveling all that ice.
Yeah.
Would have been better if it was 30 inches, like they told me it would be.
30 inches of ice or 30 inches of snow? Let's clarify here.
30 inches of snow.
Yeah. The snow I would happily shovel, but I don't know if I'm making a dent with a snow shovel and ice.
My kids are really excited about building the snow fort.
Yeah.
Tim Cook. I demand an apology. All right, so we will keep you updated on the weather. We're going to have the whole team working round the clock watching this stuff. We got our weather guys on speed dial. Stefano DiPietro called in earlier this morning. I got Dan Thomas's cell phone number. I might harass him a little bit tomorrow and see if he can get on the show. give us an update. Ken Weaver's in the newsroom. He's updating us on the weather as well. Ken, are you also disappointed in the lack of snow that we're going to be getting?
No, I am not.
You don't like to have fun.
I would rather there be no snow.
Ken doesn't like to have fun.
I'm against all fun.
Ken tried having fun once, and he said it wasn't for him.
I just thought, nah, boys, this isn't for me.
This isn't for him. We said, okay.
Give me that cinder block. Let me drop it on my bare foot.
We said, thanks for at least trying, Ken. We appreciate that. Yeah, I wanted a lot of snow. Now we're just going to get ice and mayhem instead.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Welcome to Nashville, Chris.
That'll be fun. Speaking of mayhem, radio segue gold, let's talk about Minneapolis. Did you see what happened yesterday? Greg Bavino, the Border Patrol commander, border commander, he goes to a speedway. I can only imagine he's going to hit that roller grill, get himself a hot dog.
Get a hot dog, maybe
a cherry Coke.
Speedway do those like weird slices of pizza they have in the weird rotator.
Yeah. It's not good.
Gross.
It's not good. What's the other one that they have?
Gas station or
yeah, it's a gas station, but they actually have decent pizza.
Thornton's?
No.
Racetrack.
There it is. They got good pizza.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Thornton's has stepped up their game. They actually have good pizza.
And I would assume both Thornton's or Racetrack wouldn't do what Speedway did to Greg Bavino yesterday.
Oh.
So he goes to he's going to get himself a dog, maybe a taquito. Off the maybe a taquito.
I've heard they got good donuts over there.
Maybe I prefer thinking that while he's going to get illegal aliens, he's stopping down for a taquito.
Get a taquito.
So he's going in there. He's got to get his taquito. He's got to get a hot dog, and the Speedway employee says, "You're not allowed in here."
Oh.
Do you work here? Do you work here? You guys kicked him out? What's your opinion on it? Why'd you kick him out?
Because I wanted to.
Okay.
We don't support ICE, and nobody here does.
Why'd you kick him out? I wanted to. We don't support ICE. No one does. No word yet on a response from Speedway as of earlier this morning. But you're seeing this with ICE all over the place. They're getting kicked out of hotels. They're getting kicked out of gas stations. It's like ridiculous. It's insane. And then they say that ICE are being the Nazis. So you're not allowed in here. You can't come in here because you're a Nazi. So this is what we're seeing in Minnesota. Democrats are up in arms about the operations of ICE. Hakeem Jeffries yesterday on MS Now, he had a few things to say about how ICE has been handling business, and he's very upset. This is Timu Obama, if you will, Dollar Store Obama, Buck Obama, Hakeem Jeffries.
That's common sense. ICE should not be able to storm houses of worship, hospitals, and schools. That's common sense. That relates to protocols that exist for every other law enforcement agency in the country. ICE should have a use of force standard. None currently exists.
ICE shouldn't be allowed to storm houses of worship, schools, or hospitals. Can you find one documented example of ICE storming a house of worship, a school, or a hospital? I can't. There was the one daycare in Chicago that they all were up in arms about for a couple weeks because was it a convicted sex offender, illegal alien that was a targeted operation? They were going after this guy, ran into a daycare. So they went in to get him. I think that every parent would appreciate that rather than leave the criminal illegal alien inside the daycare. And I think the same would be true if there was an operation like that happening at a school or a hospital. But he leaves out the part about leftist agitators storming churches. Did you notice that? That's not top of mind. Not top of mind. It was top of mind this morning for Pam Bondi. 2 arrests. We covered it a little bit earlier, but if you're just tuning in, that attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, is now being avenged. We have seen 2 arrests, more to follow, word on the street, but we saw... what's her name? Nikema Levy-Armstrong arrested. She was the organizer, the one that Don Lemon kissed on the cheek. And we also saw Chantel Louisa Allen, an elected member of the St. Paul School Board, arrested. Both of these losers are heavily involved in Black Lives Matter in the Minnesota area. Nikema Levy-Armstrong tried to run for mayor. She failed at that, much like she failed at making change via her church protests. All she got was some silver bracelets. I want to see more arrests, up to and including Don Lemon and William Kelly, the bearded lunatic who was screaming inside that church. All that to be said, nothing that these Democrat politicians or these leftist agitators are doing is going to sway ICE from doing their job. They're boots on the ground in Minnesota. J.D. Vance is going to be down there today, and they're boots on the ground across the country. We're seeing a lot of enforcement operations stepped up in Maine, where there is also a massive Somali population and reports of rampant fraud. We saw this, News Nation reported it last night, fraud accusations growing in Maine via the Somalis.
It's the same thing that we're finding in Minnesota, just to be completely blunt, Elizabeth, the same tactics being used to defraud Medicaid. In this case, zombie offices, I call them, where large clusters of home health care businesses and providers in one location. We saw them in Minnesota, and we're seeing them here, and the business owners and building owners that we speak to here say enough. We're here in Portland, Maine. We found of the businesses that are registered in here, of the 20-something businesses, 10 of them are home health care businesses. As you can see, Prestige Home Care, Bright Star Home Care, Atlantic Community Support, 5 Stars Home Health Care, Prime Home Care, LLC. It's a trend we saw in Minnesota, one that the Minnesota House Oversight Committee on Fraud tells News Nation is a giant red flag. Large clusters of healthcare providers in one location. This building right behind me has 22 different home and community-based healthcare companies registered in the building. Inside this Portland office building, owner Ron Nevins agreed to speak with us.
I think I got 10 healthcare companies, which is probably about half, maybe a little less than half of this building.
Healthcare, home healthcare. I didn't even know what home healthcare was. Do you think these businesses are actually legit businesses?
Some, yes, but some I highly question.
Now, one of the big things that is panicking the Dems in Maine here is how the local residents are getting behind the investigations into fraud and how they're supporting ICE. ICE is on the ground in Minnesota. And in Maine. They're in Minnesota as well. But they're in Maine, and local news was reporting on ICE operations, and all of the citizens were like, yeah, we're here for it. Like, send more.
We spoke with a handful of people in the community to get their thoughts on seeing ICE in Westbrook.
I really feel there's a lot of people whose rights are violated.
You never know what's going to happen, and people are scared to open their doors or even leave the house nowadays.
Others who didn't want to appear on camera told us they support ICE. It's a sentiment we're also seeing through comments on our Facebook page.
I love that. Those who didn't want to appear on camera, was it that, or was it that you got two people who didn't like ICE and you chose to air those as opposed to the other interviews that were probably over flooding? What did the Facebook comments say?
John says, "Do your job, ICE. Love it." David commented saying, "I voted for this."
Based.
And Tori, who says, "Good job, ICE. Keep up the good work."
We all voted for this. The ICE operations will continue. And in Maine, you're seeing the operations step up. They actually went after a Sudanese guy in Maine with 12 prior convictions. Convictions. This is the insanity. This isn't 12 things that they want to charge him with, that he needs to go to court for. These are things that he's been found guilty of. And there was also a flurry of nearly 50 other targets in Maine via ICE.
Not stop ICE from hitting the ground running here. Fox had cameras exclusively embedded with what was DHS dubbing an Operation Catch of the Day. Now, some targets proved harder than others to capture. This Sudanese man has more than a dozen criminal convictions in Maine, according to the Homeland Security Department. Those include aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and violation of protection orders. A federal immigration judge had ordered his final removal, but until today, he was roaming free due to Maine's sanctuary policies.
Well, he's a neighbor. That's somebody's neighbor. Who wants a neighbor like that? Apparently liberals.
And 2 Ecuadorian nationals also caught in troubled waters, facing drunk driving charges. One crossed the border illegally during the Biden administration and was later released.
We have approximately 1,400 targets here in Maine, ranging from rape of a child, drug trafficking, sexual assaults, simple assaults, driving while under the influence, you name it, they're on the target list.
And these are the people that the leftists will defend. It's 10:52. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. One of the biggest myths that you'll hear when it comes to health insurance is you got to wait for open enrollment. Oh, I can't wait till open enrollment rolls around. I missed it last time. Really do need to get some insurance. Oh, I'm paying too much. Can't wait for open enrollment so I can start saving some money. You know that's just what the big guys want you to think. Shane Ring can get you covered today or help you start saving money today. Easy. No waiting, no gimmicks. You missed open enrollment, no problem. You lost your job coverage, no problem. You're just sick of the overpriced junk insurance you have. Shane is the guy to talk to. Cover Nash partners with over 75 top-rated insurance companies, including brand new nationwide PPO options with deductibles as low as $250, flat $50 doctor visits, ACA compliant plans, plans for individuals, families, self-employed, small businesses, you name it. Shane can help you out. It's time to stop overpaying. It's time to stop waiting. And it's time to stop thinking you're stuck. Shane can help you today. If I'm a betting man, he's sitting at his desk right now waiting for your call. 615-465-0023. That's 615-465-0023. Do you want to save some money on your health insurance? Do you want to get better health insurance? CoverNash.com.
All right, we'll give you the very latest on the approaching winter storm. Also, the head of the Tennessee Highway Patrol defending his agency amid reports of wrongful DUI arrests. We'll let you hear that coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Ken Weaver coming in hot with the headlines in less than 2 minutes. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch us. YouTube and Rumble are the big ones. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. Jump in the chat. Jump on the text line. Jump on the phone line. 615-737-9986. Charles is on the road, and he has an idea for the midterms. Charles, I'm all ears, man. What do you got?
Okay, one, I got a point, a question, and then I'll make my midterm thing. Number one, Ken Weaver's right. No ice. We don't want no ice. We don't want no snow. Let's go to spring. Let's get golfing season back on fire.
All right, don't gas up Ken Weaver.
Yes, sir.
Ken Weaver is going to be so happy when my kids are crying because they can't go sledding.
Hey, the only ice we need is what's in Memphis right now, man. That's all we got to have.
Yes,
we don't need any weather ice.
I would support that
Good
ice.
just the good ice. Number two, I'm going to be passing back through Lebanon here in a little bit, and I've been dying to do the In-N-Out burger. Is it really worth it?
It's worth it.
Is it worth it?
It's worth it. Get yourself a double animal style. Get yourself a French fry animal style. And then here's the most important part, Charles. I'm going to need you to call or text the show and let me know what you think.
Okay, it's the same number I call, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go to the midterms. Hey, listen, let's let the man that we voted for, that most of the country voted for, finish his job. And I just feel like this country, I mean, we're making the turn. Things are getting better.
Amen.
But it's not gonna happen tomorrow. It takes a little time.
Yep.
So we got to have a little patience. And if we don't let this guy get his full 4 in, because all these people hate him so much, and the hatred drives their vote instead of common sense, we are in trouble.
Yeah.
We are in serious trouble, and it just drives me nuts. I got a buddy. I'm retired Army. I got a buddy lives up in Minnesota. He's a couple hours from the cities. But he's real close to St. Cloud. He said the Somali thing up there is off the charts. I mean, it is off the charts.
Yeah. You're not lying. Well, hey, Charles, first, thank you for your service, man. I do appreciate that. I have some thoughts on the midterms, and I'm with you. We have a very, very small window of opportunity here. And if we fail in the midterms, it's not going to look good for the remainder of Donald Trump's presidency. There has been a renewed push on the SAVE Act. We're going to talk about that. I'm also going to tell you why I think nuking the filibuster is something that we need to do yesterday. And it really lines up with what we've seen happen in Virginia since that moderate Democrat, Abigail Spanberger, won her bid for governor. She said she ran as a moderate. She's super moderate. She's in the middle of the middle. And then she gets in and she enacts a bunch of leftist, unhinged policies. And they'll do that everywhere if they get the opportunity. We'll talk about it next. It's 11:01. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Going to tell you about that winter storm watch for the weekend. Actually, we're in a winter storm watch right now. We expect to go under a winter storm warning sometime today. Stefano DiPietro over at Channel 4 says it's going to start late tomorrow night, stretch through the entire weekend. Things are going to really pick up on Saturday.
We have widespread snow to start off the day. It might be a little mixing far to the south, but moderate to heavier snowfall early in the day. Then that surge of warmer air comes in and starts that changeover. Mostly happens south of Interstate 40 to start off the afternoon. The farther north we live, the more we'll hang on to that snow.
Yeah, the most snow north of Nashville. The possibility of a brief period of rain on Saturday, southern Middle Tennessee. TDOT has been getting ready. They're stocking trucks to put brine down on roads today. TDOT spokesperson Aaron Ziegler says This advice for drivers, speaking to Channel 4.
Biggest message I can really stress to people of Middle Tennessee right now is stay home. This is going to be a significant weather event. We're going to treat it as such, and that means clearing our interstates first, then our secondary routes.
TDOT beefing up its staff for the weather event so they can respond to accidents if need be. The head of the Tennessee Highway Patrol defending his agency yesterday amid reports of wrongful DUI arrests. Colonel Matt Perry went before state lawmakers. He said THP does not use DUI quotas despite claims from some former troopers. WSMV Channel 4 Investigates found THP led the state with 180 arrests where drivers later tested completely sober. This is part of a Q&A with Colonel Matt Perry after yesterday's hearing at the state capitol, where he says the blood tests are one thing, but the field sobriety tests are indicating the drivers were intoxicated.
But ultimately, if a drug test or a alcohol test comes back negative, then the court system throws the case out or dismisses or pleads it to a lesser charge, then the system works.
The problem is that people's lives are being ruined in the process.
I hear that, and I don't want anybody's life to be ruined because we did something wrong.
Since this data has come out, what have you done as an agency to address this issue?
I mean, we're looking at our training. We are looking at these cases, and we're coming up with a system to make sure that we are properly, reviewing every one.
And Colonel Perry says training, as you heard, is being reviewed, but he insists troopers acted appropriately. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
J.D. Vance descended upon Union Station in Washington, D.C. today, and he was met with some unhinged leftist protesters.
You big f***ing Nazis!
Now, there's a couple ways that you can deal with radical leftist lunatics, but I want to highlight the method that J.D. chose today. This method is, of course, the all-encompassing point and laugh.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community.
Like and subscribe for more tips on how to deal with unhinged leftist lunatics out in the wild. This has been brought to you by our friends at Zero Res Nashville. If you need your carpets cleaned, go to ZeroResNashville.com. It's 11:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com, iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial. That's how you listen. You can watch YouTube and Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, but YouTube and Rumble are the big ones. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. Leave a comment on the platform that you're listening on. Share it. Do all the things. We really do appreciate you helping us grow the digital footprint of the radio station. Midterms on the way. They're going to be here before we know it. We're going to blink, and we're going to be full on in midterm season. The days are long, but the months are short. And I'm telling you, November 2026 is right around the corner. I mean, you think about how fast the first year of the Trump presidency went, and to think that we're on our way, it's insane. We got to do some things. We got to make some moves. There has been some big progress made on the SAVE Act. We have Senators Dave McCormick, he's a Republican out of Pennsylvania, and Katie Britt, who you may remember from that weird post-State of the Union address from Joe Biden. Do you remember that one where she was like in her kitchen? It was awkward. People said that hurt her chances becoming VP. I think we got a good VP. Maybe she was never even in contention. But Katie Britt does good work out of the state of Alabama. They've announced their co-sponsors on that legislation to require citizenship to vote. John Cornyn, Republican out of Texas, has gone on record saying that he's going to talk to the Senate Majority Leader John Thune about the SAVE Act. And we're hearing that this new version of the SAVE Act is improved and is going to get a floor vote. Steve Scalise was talking about this yesterday.
Can you please explain the difference between this new SAVE Act that you're talking about? How is it different from the old one, and why won't Thune bring it to the floor for a vote?
Well, the SAVE Act that we passed over to the Senate strictly deals with making sure that you have to prove your citizenship to vote. We know that there are illegals voting in a number of states. Frankly, many states like California encourage illegals to vote, and that's what the SAVE Act is focused on. Chip Roy put a lot of time into that. But along the way, we also want to make sure that there are other areas of voter fraud that we address, and one of them is requiring picture ID. There are a number of states that actually say you can't require picture ID to vote, and that is a recipe for voter fraud because they also, some of those same states say you can have same-day voter registration. So somebody can literally register and say, I'm Mickey Mouse, and they put that on the registration. They have no ID, of course, saying that they are, because they're not, and yet they're able to legally vote, which means they can steal someone else's vote by fraudulently voting. If you put a picture ID requirement, it actually ensures much better that the sanctity of the vote is intact for all voters. So we're going to be bringing a bill that does both the SAVE Act combined with picture ID, and that's an even stronger measure, and send that to the Senate. And I hope we get that vote on the Senate floor.
I hope we get the vote on the Senate floor. But here's the thing. If we don't get some Democrats to come over and vote for it, it's never going to pass. It's one of the reasons why we need to nuke the filibuster. We got to get rid of it. We have to. We need a simple majority to pass some of this stuff. And the SAVE Act is instrumental to a midterm victory. You heard Steve Scalise talking about how same-day voter registration is happening in states. We've heard Scott Pressler expose how that works in Minnesota, don't you know, where you just need somebody to vouch for you. That's it. You don't need a photo ID. You don't need to prove you're a citizen. You just need somebody to be with you and saying, no, that's my guy. He's good. And you can do that with up to 8 people. Now zoom out and think about the hundreds of thousands of Somalians and the illegal aliens in Minnesota, and then ask yourself, what are they going to do with that opportunity? Are they going to use that opportunity, or are they going to just ignore it? I'm of the opinion that they're going to take advantage of that loophole. And if they do, you don't get Republicans winning elections. The SAVE Act is going to be instrumental. We need to nuke the filibuster. The big argument against nuking the filibuster is, well, the Democrats are going to get into power, and then they're not going to have the filibuster. And I would argue that if the Democrats get into power, they're going to nuke the filibuster anyway. And I think we have to look no further than what happened in Virginia with Abigail Spanberger and what she has done in her first couple of days to make that case. I mean, Abigail Spanberger, the governor of Virginia, ran as a moderate. And now people are shocked and stunned to see the policies that she is putting forward. They were talking about this on Fox News last night. The moderates, the independents are just, their jaws are hitting the floor when they see Abigail Spanberger and the moves that she's making in Virginia.
That's the new governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, ran for that office as a moderate. But the executive order that she talked about is state and local police not cooperating with ICE to get criminal illegal immigrants. There's also a list of, now the Democrats control the legislature, that a number of bills that have been put forward. You can't read it here, but let me just go through it. Sales tax on Uber Eats, Amazon. Sales tax on admissions to a variety of businesses. Create 2 new higher tax brackets. 10% tax bracket for anyone making over $1 million. 3.8 investment tax. Raise the hotel tax. New personal property tax on landscaping equipment. Ban gas-powered leaf blowers. Guarantee illegal aliens free education. Make it illegal to approach somebody at an abortion clinic. Extend the time absentee ballots can be received after Election Day. Allow people to cast their votes electronically through the internet. Expand ranked choice voting. Extend the deadline for ballot curing. Redact the addresses of political candidates from FOIAs. Add Virginia to the National Popular Vote Compact. Make it illegal to hand count ballots. $500 sales tax on firearm suppressors. Assault weapons and large capacity magazine ban. 11% sales tax on all firearms and ammunition. Prohibit outdoor shooting of a firearm less than 5 acres. Lower the criminal penalties for robbery. Ban the arrest of illegal aliens in courthouses. Remove mandatory minimum sentences. Allow localities to install speed cameras. And replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day.
People are really excited about Indigenous Peoples Day this year in Virginia. This is what happens when a Democrat runs as a moderate, and then they gain power, and then they enact all of the radical leftist policies that they wanted to enact anyway. This is why we can't let the Democrats ever gain power again. And one of the ways to do that is to stop the illegals from voting, requiring citizenship, requiring ID. They'll claim that it's racist, and I just think that that is the bigotry of low expectations. Just because your skin color is not white doesn't mean that you have an issue getting an ID. I think that that is actually like just really offensive to our black and Spanish friends. Like, oh, my friend, I know how tough it is for you. Let me take you down to the DMV. Let me help you. Let me walk you through this process. Could you imagine doing that to somebody? How offensive that would be. But this is what they're going to yell. It's racist. It's voter suppression. It's like, no. This is about election integrity. The SAVE Act has to pass because we know what the Democrats are going to do if they get into power.
So elections have consequences, Josh.
What a spectacular reminder that we no longer live in an era where there's an existence of a moderate Democrat. I think for the last 6 months, for those of us who pointed out that the Mamdanis of the world had taken over the Democratic Party, we were assured, no, that's not the new face of the Democratic Party. It's people like moderates, Abigail Spanberger. I mean, she's there for a cup of coffee, and all of a sudden we have a communist manifesto out in front of us. This is going fast and furious, but it is how Democrats govern. Regardless of what they say, even in a purple state like Virginia, Youngkin didn't govern as a right-wing lunatic. She's trying to take it so far left, it's almost unrecognizable.
I mean, I think that's a really good point. Youngkin wasn't an alt-right extremist. Youngkin was middle of the road as middle of the road gets. It worked in Virginia. He did a good job. But now with these new rules proposed, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I got family in Virginia. My brother-in-law lives there. You know, my mother and father-in-law have a house in Virginia. I see some of this stuff. I'm like, oh, hey, let me call Raj and let him know that he's now a criminal because he has large capacity magazines. Oh, okay. It's insane. 4.3% sales tax on Uber Eats, Amazon deliveries. Sales tax on admissions to a wide variety of businesses. Higher tax brackets, 8%, 10% on people making over $600K. A new 10% tax bracket for anyone making over $1 million. If you're making over $1 million in Virginia, what is the incentive to stay living in Virginia at this point? Other than it's cheaper than living in D.C., what is the incentive to living in Virginia? Raising the hotel tax, 3.8% investment tax on top of state incomes, new personal property tax on landscaping equipment, banning gas-powered leaf blowers. Again, these moderates get into office and then they're full-blown commies. We can't let this happen. And if they win in the midterms, they reclaim the House, and God forbid the Senate, they have kneecapped President Trump as he is turning the ship around. We had new economy numbers in today. They revised the GDP from third quarter up, defying expectations, defying the experts. And we've seen that time and time again. Yeah, the Democrats can't help themselves. What did Brett Baer say? She's in office for a cup of coffee. Expanded ranked choice voting. Allow people to cast their votes electronically through the internet. What could go wrong? While we're fighting for election integrity, make no mistake about it, the Dems are trying to make it easier to cheat. Allowing people to cast their votes electronically through the internet. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Extending the deadline for ballot curing to 1 week after Election Day. What could go wrong? Making it illegal to hand count ballots. What could possibly go wrong? Does a Democrat ever lose again in Virginia? $500 sales tax on firearm suppressors, assault weapons, and large capacity magazine bans. 11% sales tax on all firearms and ammunition. I'll tell you what, Southwest Virginia is going to be crossing over the border to Tennessee to buy their firearms and ammunition very, very soon. If you're running a firearm shop out there, a gun store right there on the border, I would be advertising big time. I would be if I'm a business owner, I'm placing targeted ads at all of those different towns right over the border online and saying, hey, your prices are going up. Our prices are staying low. Come on down to Tennessee. It's going to hurt everyday Virginians, but they don't care. They don't care at all. And this will be replicated throughout the country if Democrats reclaim power. Make no mistake about it. Prohibiting outdoor shooting of a firearm on land less than 5 acres. Lowering the criminal penalties for robbery. Ban the arrest of illegal aliens in courthouse. Remove mandatory minimum sentences. Allow localities to install speed cameras. And Columbus Day is now Indigenous People Day. Do you want that everywhere? I tell you what, midterms are going to be here before we know it. It's going to be an all-hands-on-deck effort. We're in a unique position in Tennessee. We truly are. So many of us have friends and family out of state. Tennessee is hardcore red, but maybe, just maybe, you can make a difference somewhere else by putting in that phone call, sending the text message, having the conversation with a friend or family member in another state saying, yo, this is what's coming to you if you vote blue no matter who. This is what the moderate just did in Virginia. We need to absolutely keep a magnifying glass on Abigail Spanberger and her administration and let everyone know what the moderate Democrat is doing. It's really easy to go for the low-hanging fruit of Imam Dani in New York City. It's easy to go after Gavin Newsom. Let's hyper-focus on the moderate Democrat. That's what she ran as. And every other Democrat that's going to run as a moderate in the midterms, they'll do the exact same thing. It's 11:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, we'll tell you the very latest about the potential for snow and ice and bitter cold starting tomorrow night. Let you know what officials are advising. And Tennessee Highway Patrol Colonel Matt Perry facing tough questions from state lawmakers over dozens of DUI arrests where drivers were later found not to have anything in their blood. Details coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
The DUI arrest story is one of the craziest in all of Tennessee right now.
It's a major deal, man. These people, some of these people lost their jobs.
Yep.
It bankrupted them.
Well, when you think about like your families and your marriages and all that kind of stuff. I mean, and then it's because they pulled off the breathalyzer. Right? That's
yeah,
where,
I don't think they're allowed to do breathalyzers on the like on the side of the road when you're pulled over.
It's insane. Absolutely insane.
I think that's got to change, doesn't it?
Yes. Bring back the breathalyzer. I mean, if for nothing else, like if an officer goes, I still think he's on something, we'll have to do a blood test. You know, maybe it's drugs. Like I get that. You know, somebody high on meth isn't gonna blow a .32.
Right.
You know,
right.
That's understandable. But in a lot of these cases, I feel like that would clear it all up, especially if people think that they're drunk, you know?
Right.
Yeah, dude, I would lose my mind. Be like, I don't even drink. What are you doing? Like, get out of here.
And that's some of these people, man. I mean, they do nothing. And they had to wait for their blood draw, and then, they must, they were not impaired.
And then it takes like months to get the blood results
sometimes.
Back. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, Ken Weaver's got the latest. He'll also be disappointing all the children in Middle Tennessee, talking about how happy he is that none of you will be sledding. Ken Weaver, I've never seen him so gleeful. But like, as soon as I told him, I said, "Yeah, the kids are bummed. They're not going to be sledding." He goes, "That really warms me up, brother Chris." I said, "Why are you talking like that?" He's like, "I don't like them kids having fun."
And maybe they'll get extra homework.
So here's the thing. Okay. So can I tell you guys something that my kids, it's been hilarious, and I have been roasting them. They're like, hey, "Oh, are we going to get school off?" And I'm like, "Nope, you're homeschooled."
That's right.
I said, actually, I used to get school off all the time for snow.
Yeah.
You guys are never going to, you asked for this. You asked for this.
Unless it's snowing in the hallway, you're going to school.
Even if the power's out, we could still, we could do school.
Oh, yeah.
We got candles.
That's right.
There's sunlight.
There's paper and pencils.
Bro, that's what I'm talking about. So shout out to all the homeschool kids that won't be getting a snow day. They won't get a snow day, and they won't be able to sled. Ken Weaver is thrilled. It's crazy. It's crazy. I do feel for the kids. I'm like, do we give them a snow day? And then their mom was like, absolutely not. She's like, a snow day for them means that I'm doubling up the next day.
Exactly.
I said, all right, touche.
That means more work for mom.
Touche. No snow days allowed. But we're monitoring the weather. We're all working behind the scenes. We're getting everything locked up and ready to go should things become a bit dicey out there. I pray that they don't, and I pray that this thing isn't as bad. But I mean, the storm is still huge. It's what, Dallas to Virginia?
Yeah, I saw Albuquerque.
Oh my
to Virginia,
gosh.
like a 2,000-mile long storm.
I wasn't talking to anybody, but I was in an online forum last night talking about the weather. And they were talking about an ice storm in Albuquerque, and they said how weird it was because you go out there and it's the desert, but you see iced over cactuses.
Yes.
They said it was the weirdest, most beautiful thing that you could see.
Absolutely.
So, but at the same time, you're only witnessing it because you're on the side of the road in a ditch.
You're on the side. You're behind a jackknife semi.
I took a moment to appreciate the beauty as I ran away from the pileup. So. I mean, dude, pray for everybody, man.
Yes, sir.
Stay off the roads as best you can.
Yes, sir.
We were talking this morning about where bread and milk came from.
I heard that.
And apparently it was a 1978 blizzard in Massachusetts or in the Northeast, where they would go for comfort food.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal. People wanted to make French toast and just chill. So it became a staple in the 70s, and now it's everywhere, and it's never going away. Get your milk sandwiches. But the grocery stores, I do think part of this is ginned up by big grocery.
I heard that, man. That cracked me. I said, Brother Hand, bringing it.
Well, and I had to ask the weather guy because I think
what'd you call it? Big grocery.
I think it's big grocery. I think that the weather guys are in a conspiracy with the big grocery chains.
They're getting kickbacks.
Somebody's getting kickbacks.
Either that or free snacks.
We can talk all about the Somali fraud, but I want Nick Shirley to go embed himself
in a public somewhere.
in the weather community or in big grocery, and find out what's really going on in these shady back rooms. Because they tell us, the Apple Weather tells me 30 inches, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna need it. We're gonna need all of this, and now it's an inch. And I think that there's a conspiracy. On the way, we got the lightning round. I got some great stories for you in the lightning round. There's a town in Missouri that is very upset, and you're going to want to know why. I'll talk about it next after the headlines with Ken Weaver, which start right now on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. The best chance for snow starting tomorrow night will be along and north of I-40. Right now, it looks like the best chance for ice is for everyone along and south of I-40. We've got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Channel 4's Joyland Bukovac is telling us what state and local officials are saying.
Officials say timing matters right now. Some cities are planning to start pre-treating the roads today, while others are choosing to wait until Friday because they want to make sure that the brine is not washed away by any rain. And something that they're all asking people to do is try to stay off the roads if you can. This will give their crews plenty of space to be able to treat the roads and clear them as the snow starts to fall.
All right. Stay with us for continuing coverage right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Tennessee Highway Patrol Colonel Matt Perry facing tough questions from state lawmakers yesterday over Channel 4's sobering problem investigation. The station uncovered dozens of DUI arrests later thrown out after blood tests showed no alcohol or drugs. This is part of an exchange after the hearing between Colonel Perry and reporter Jeremy Finley.
They're not sober driver. They might have come back with nothing from the TBI lab in their system, but that doesn't make them a sober driver.
I've interviewed these people. They were sober at the time that they were arrested. There were no drugs or alcohol in their system. And your agency is showing making the most of these arrests.
We do not want anybody arrested, charged, that hasn't committed a crime. So I'll say that.
If it sounds confusing, Perry testified today that the field sobriety tests that the troopers are performing indicate the driver is intoxicated.
Well, Perry says his troopers are not pressured to make DUI arrests despite accusations from former officers. He says THP is revisiting training and reviewing every DUI case moving forward. And Metro Police say a man used an intoxicated tourist's phone to transfer money out of his Cash App account early yesterday morning. Investigators say that victim met 25-year-old T. Rick Thomas at a bar on Broadway. Thomas allegedly convinced the man to hand over his phone, then sent $1,200 to another account. Officers stepped in before Thomas could get another $300 from an ATM. He's now charged with felony theft. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:37. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I'm going through the text line, and Adam in the borough, who's one of our liberal friends, he actually had a really funny joke. We give credit where credit's due on this show. He said, all these weather guys are just paid activists by George Kroger.
That's so good.
Oh, I love that. So good. So good. They lied about the snow totals. Big Grocery is scamming you and disappointing the kids. I don't even think it's going to snow anymore. That's just what Big Grocery wants you to think.
Who would you call him? What Kroger?
George Kroger.
George Kroger. Got Tom Walmart out there.
Man. This morning, whenever you presented that question to Stefano, the pause. That just cracked me up, man. Stefano was just like,
He didn't say no.
He didn't say no.
No, he didn't.
He didn't say no. What did I say to him? Yeah, we had a weather guy on during the crisscross with Dan.
The boss, Stefano DP.
And yeah. Side note, and we'll talk about the question. But Stefano is under the impression that he has the best hair in Nashville weather. And I think that is false. I think that the best hair in Nashville weather goes to one Brett Luna over at Fox 17.
Absolutely.
And I don't care who knows it.
Absolutely, man.
The guy, I mean,
he's got a mane.
Freaking stud.
He is, man.
All right, so I said to Stefano DiPietro, I said, what do you think about the online chatter? That this is that the snow totals that we were seeing earlier in the week is really just a conspiracy between you weather guys and Big Grocery.
Oh,
a little bit of snow fluff.
I don't know if he knows what he's walking into.
Hey, well, that's what got me. I guarantee he was just, oh my. Oh, well, what have I gotten myself into?
Is that a real question that you asking me right now? It's like, hey, yes, it is, and I demand answer. He didn't say no.
No, he did not.
He avoided the question completely.
He avoided the question.
Which is it's honestly more an indictment than anything else.
I just want to know how big's the check.
Yeah. How much are they paying you guys to pump them bread sales?
Oh, man.
Can I get in on that?
Yeah.
That was great.
Was it Blue Bunny bread? What is the bunny? How much is the bunny slipping in? How much bread are you getting, Stefano? People want to know. And I'm looking at you too, Dan Thomas. Danielle Breezy. All of them are complicit.
So good.
All of them. Bree. I know Bree's back. She couldn't stay away from that Big Grocery money. So 2407 said Big Bunny and Wonder Bread slinging money to the Weather Channel. Obviously, this is just like what we saw with Pfizer and all the big networks.
Right.
You said big Grocery, and we're not going to ignore the hard questions here on the Chris Hand Show. We're also not going to ignore the lightning round, which starts right now.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
You guys really missed my dance moves if you're not watching on Super Talk TV on YouTube and Rumble to the lightning round, because I dance.
Yeah, they may not be good, but they're entertaining.
They're definitely some moves whenever the music comes on. I mean, it's partly dancing for the lightning round, partly dancing for the last segment of the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Either way, we're dancing.
We're having a good time.
We're having fun.
We're vibing.
All right, I got a story here.
In what?
In the lightning round. This is the first one. Rock Hill, Missouri residents are very upset. They're very upset. They're pissed. Furious residents of a liberal city claim it stinks of cannabis and they can't escape it. This is years after legalizing marijuana. Residents of a liberal city in Missouri have been complaining to officials that it stinks of cannabis everywhere they go. Rock Hill, Missouri is a small city with a population of around 4,700 in the St. Louis metropolitan area. The number of complaints about cannabis odor shot up in the second half of 2025. The city received 99 complaints about stinky weed between April and December of last year. Rock Hill City Administrator Garrett Schlett told the St. Louis Post that the number represents a significant uptick from previous years. You know they only legalized marijuana to benefit Big Grocery, right? You know that. And all the snacks. So all the lobbyists from Big Grocery are in there helping legalize pot. Missouri legalized medical marijuana in 2018. Recreational use was legalized in 2022. 2021, Missouri-based cannabis company Proper Brands opened a facility in Rock Hill's Industrial Court, which is where the stench that the residents have been complaining about originates. Proper Brands' 60,000 square foot warehouse cultivates marijuana plants and manufactures a variety of cannabis products. According to the company's CEO, John Pennington, the strong odor inside can't escape and be carried by the wind when employees leave or exit the warehouse. And the wind takes the odor far. Schlett, the city administrator, said he and others can sometimes smell it at City Hall, which is about half a mile from the warehouse. What did you expect? I would ask, what did you expect? You know, if you have a donut factory in town and your town smells like donuts, if you know, this happens, smells carry. So when you gave the green light for the pot factory, this was going to come. Side note, this is just separate. Has anybody else felt like it smelled like pot around here, like nonstop? Like, and I don't think it's actually pot. I think that like a lot of skunks have been getting run over.
That makes more sense. I think they're probably venturing out.
Is it just me? Is it just me? Murfreesboro, I swear there's like a dead skunk on every street.
Yeah, there are dead skunks in my neighborhood.
Dude, it's
the road.
And like you'll get a whiff of it and you're like, is that weed or is that a dead skunk? And then you're like, oh, it's a dead skunk.
Although some of it is weed too.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, I was like, it's either weed, skunks, or really bad coffee. That's the scent that I get for those.
Really bad coffee.
Yeah. To be fair, COVID messed up my sense of smell.
I was just about to say, do you have COVID? What?
Back in 2019, COVID messed up my sense of smell on coffee. So it smells very similar.
That skunk smells like McDonald's coffee. It's like, what are you talking about?
I could use some caffeine right now. A good cup of Joe.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard Mason say.
Listen.
And I've been working with him for like a couple of years now.
It's the correlation that comes to mind.
Oh.
You sure it only messed up your smell?
Yeah.
The COVID.
Listen, I don't drink it. There's a reason I don't drink it anymore.
Okay. So anyway, long story short, Rock Hill residents are mad, but they should have known what they were getting into.
Yeah.
Got another story for you here in the lightning round. The world's most beautiful airport. Have you heard about this?
No.
So they do this. They do this every year, apparently.
Oh, it's a pageant.
It's a pageant. Okay, side note on pageants. If bodybuilders can't use steroids, why can pageant models wear makeup?
Going for like natural beauty kind of thing, not a doctor.
It's an enhancer.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be legal. If my bodybuilders can't take steroids, then America's Next Top Model, Miss USA, shouldn't be allowed to wear makeup. And I don't care who thinks I'm wrong. I think that that's true. Either let the guys juice or tell those broads no more makeup. Okay. So they have a beauty pageant for airports. I don't mean to get off topic, but I think that needed to be said. I'm glad I said it. They have a beauty pageant for airports for some reason. They call it Prix Versailles. It's an International Architecture and Design Award. They recently announced its selection recognizing airport terminals it considers among the most beautiful in the world. Do you know who won? San Francisco.
Really?
Get this. The Harvey Milk Terminal.
No.
Yep. Harvey Milk Terminal. That's the terminal named after the gay rights activist that was sleeping with like a 15-year-old. So, stunning and brave, I think that was what they said when they walked in there. This is stunning and brave. Word is that they didn't actually leave the airport. They just got right back on the flight and left because they knew the rest of San Francisco is covered in poop and needles.
Yeah, not worth stepping on.
No. This terminal features an exhibition honoring gay rights leader Harvey Milk, highlighting his political career and impact on San Francisco through photographs and historical materials. On Reddit, some users have praised the terminal for engaging art and clean environment. Harvey Milk Terminal meets and exceeds my hope for what an airport terminal should be in the 2020s. Yes, yes. In the 2020s, airport terminals are only stunning and brave when they have the pride flags and the gay rights activists. And so they won. Congratulations to the Harvey Milk Terminal in San Francisco. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. It's in the lightning round. This story is another one in the lightning round. Okay.
Sorry, I had a very important call. Listener called in, gave a little interesting tidbit. Apparently, the same chemical that gives skunks their bad smell is also in coffee that helps give it smell.
What?
Yeah. I don't know how true this is, but a listener just called in and said, hey, by the way, you're kind of justified because...
Okay, we don't need anybody calling in and justifying Mason, okay? Can we get that on the record? If you're thinking about calling in to have Mason's back on this one, just don't.
Listen,
okay?
I'm just saying.
Don't. What did he say? The chemical?
Something in
Are they putting skunk juice in my coffee? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Listen, I'm just saying you might like your stinky Folgers a certain way.
A new brand, skunk butt.
Tell you what, I would drink skunk butt before I went to my parents' Folgers instant coffee. I don't know why they still do it. Coffee machines have been in existence for a while. It's not hard at all, and they still do the Folgers instant coffee every day.
Yeah, the crystals.
It's disgusting. It is disgusting. And I'm not telling tales out of school. They are very well aware of my opinion on this. I think it's gross. Mom, Dad, the coffee is gross. And my mom's like, it's great. I'm like, you're using like Coffee Mate hazelnut creamer. That's all you're tasting. The coffee is disgusting.
Yeah, they both contain the chemical mercaptans, which are sulfur-containing compounds with similar molecular structures in coffee and skunk spray.
I just think they're throwing big words in there to make it sound legit.
Shh, Ken, stop. No, don't break down my argument here.
Shout out to Ken Weaver for putting Mason in his place. All right. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. I didn't see this live. This happened a couple days ago on The View. Pam Grier. What was she in? Does anybody know who Pam Grier is?
Pam Grier.
They acted like she was very important on The View. She was... what was she? Oh, she was Jackie. She was Foxy Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Pam Grier was Foxy Brown. She was Jackie Brown in Quentin Tarantino movies. Okay, that's Pam Grier. She was on The View, and she raised quite a few eyebrows when she said this.
Growing up in Columbus, Ohio. How did that shape you?
Oh, hang on. I got too many things running in the background. I feel very embarrassed. All right. Here we go. This is Pam Grier, Foxy Brown, talking about growing up in Ohio as a child.
You faced a lot of racism growing up in Columbus, Ohio. How did that shape you?
Whew. Well, the military wouldn't allow black families to live on the base, so you had to live in an apartment, and you couldn't take a bus. You couldn't afford a car. You walked. Your dads walked to the base, and sometimes we would go from tree shade to get back to the apartment. My brother and I, my mom, with bags, and my mom would go, "Don't look, don't look, don't look," and she'd pull us away. Wow. Because there is someone hanging from a tree. And they have a memorial for it now, where you can see where people were and left. And it triggers me today to see that a voice can be silenced. And if a white family supported a black, they're going to get burned down or killed or lynched as well.
Yeah.
So that's The View. Just everybody, the audience. Oh, now here's the thing. Facts are a bit tricky on this one. The last lynching in Ohio was in 1911. Pam Grier was born in 1949. So I'm of the opinion that Pam Grier is lying on The View, and nobody pushed back against her ridiculous claims. As a kid, you're walking from a military base and you're seeing black people hanging from trees in 1949. You were born in 1949, so that means it's even further down there in the 50s. In the 50s, you were. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, and I wish that somebody at The View would have pushed back. But why would they do that? Because my racism. 11:52. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's 11:57 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Chad is in on Big Grocery.
Big toilet paper.
He's spreading it out. It's not just paid activist by George Kroger. It's
all of them getting together.
It's the Charmin guys.
Yep, absolutely.
Don't trust those bears.
Do not. They're all in it together, man. They want that big. They're just sitting around smoking their big cigars, talking about how much money they're making on the freeze, and their big ivory towers.
Hey, I'm not a fan.
No, I'm bummed though. I want more snow.
I do too.
I mean, the thought of getting all of the cold with no of the snow sucks.
Yes.
Right.
I'm just hoping that it's like good packing snow.
Yeah.
Because if we get some good snow on Saturday, and me and the boys move quickly enough to build a fort before the ice comes.
Yeah, because once the ice comes, that'll freeze it
that
up.
Thing is going to be solid.
Yeah.
So I don't need the little fluffy powder.
You need to pack it down.
Packing snow. But it looks like we might get that because of how wet it's going to be.
Yeah, it is going to be wet. But looking on Monday, Monday's high right now, according to the latest weather, 20 is the high and 7 is the low.
Monday is high.
Yeah,
What's going
Monday
on?
is high. Nobody's coming into work. We've already got one of those emails.
Doesn't it feel like it should be Friday?
Well, we got to go home and prep. Everybody else, we're working hard for you guys. Well, everybody else is prepping.
I don't recall, and I grew up in New England. I don't recall getting ready as early as people have been getting for this storm.
No, because we don't have it.
What do you mean?
We don't have it like this. You
no,
guys,
but even the past couple snowstorms that we've had here, I've been here since 2017-ish.
Yeah. You know what it is? This one happens to be not just a small portion. It's 200 million people of America is going to get blanketed by some freeze. So it's become top of the mind for everybody, and that's all because of Big Grocery. You're right.
Yeah, it's Big Grocery.
I bet you they have a meteorologist convention where they all get together with Big Grocery, and they just talk about how they're going to screw everything up. They did that with the pharmacists, too. Remember that? And the scientists.
Yep.
Next thing you know, we have COVID. They tried to do it with the bugs and the murder hornets. That didn't work.
No. The murder hornets never worked. And then remember they did monkeypox?
Oh, monkeypox.
And then once they found out it was sexually transmitted and dogs and kids were getting it, they're like, yeah, let's stop talking about that.
Monkeypox.
Let's stop talking about the monkeypox.
You got it. This is going to be, I'm excited, though. I want to see some precipitation and some snow.
So my friend Todd texted in. He always shows up at the show late. Show starts at 9, Todd. But he said, guys, quit asking for snow. Us postal workers have to drive in this crap.
Yeah, Todd, I think Todd texted me yesterday. I forgot, Todd. God bless you. You guys always deliver. I appreciate that.
Okay, if you see your mailman out there, bring him some hot chocolate. Bring him some coffee.
Whiskey.
Some peppermint schnapps. That was my go-to back in the day when I was still drinking.
Remember when you were a kid growing up and the St. Bernard used to carry the thing around its neck?
Yes.
And apparently, if you were in an avalanche, they were going to come get you drunk while you died.
Hey, if you're going to die, you might as well be drunk.
Well, if they go by Mason's house, he'll give him a big old hot, steamy cup of skunk butt.
Yep, that's true.
That's not good.
Chad doesn't understand the context, and we don't have time to explain it. 12 o'clock, it's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.